Hey everyone, this is HTOMario, and I'm going to be showing you a Terran against Sir game. This game is going to be between me and Dimaga. This was played earlier today. It was a very good game. There's a lot of positional battles. There's a lot to take from here from Terran against Sir. So, just want to go ahead and show you this one. Dimaga is a very high level Zerg. He's a really fun guy, probably one of the nicest I've ever seen around on the StarCraft pro scene. You can catch him streaming too. He's just a fun person to hear about. I've never heard anything bad about Dimaga. So he's also the inventor of the Banelink bust in Wings of Liberty. So I actually typed that out here. We're gonna do our safe opener against Zerg, and this is the opener that's in the guide, the tutorial video, my kind of go-to strategy. It's my favorite opening, and it's been tested and proven against pros to definitely be the safest opener I have. So this is another testament of its strength.
Upgrade complete.
Starting off with the 10 supply depot, 12 barracks, 13 refinery, 15 orbital command, supply depot, and reactor. After the reactor is built, we build a command center, then a factory, then a bunker, and then 2 marines. We scout out with the SV that makes the supply depots because we just want to make sure that there is a hatchery. So we're not expecting some kind of cheesy play, and we're just kind of scouting around. Once the factory is done, we make an army right away. We move the factory on top of the reactor. We make a second reactor. Then we start another gas in just a moment. And the way this works out is while we swap them, we do make widow mines from the factory. I accidentally only make 1 here, but the goal is to make 2. Then when the 2 widow mines are done, you can produce 2 Hellbats, 2 Marines at a time. You want to starport on the way after you started the armory and the second gas. And then you can either change it, so you can have more medevacs and fewer Marines, or more Marines, fewer medevacs. In this situation, I go for more Marines, as I know Dimaga is a very aggressive player. I want to have more units out on the map to be able to defend myself. You start +1 attack. You can do this before the medevac or after. Before, you're gonna really tech towards the late game and delay your push. After, you go ahead and be super economical, and that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been going for more stuff and more economy, so I got a really kind of fast as third command center. And you keep your units that are spawning from the back. You keep those. The units that are coming out of your production facilities, you keep those kind of rally to your front by the wall. You don't take them with you on the attack. They're in case of a counterattack, and then you use the push if it fails. If you can't really do any damage, you do as much damage as you can with these drops. And in this situation, we're actually able to do quite a bit of damage. We killed like 15 workers, and it's now 55 to 44, so he's definitely still ahead. Dimaga's macro is very good. But we were able to scout out his entire base. We saw no sign of mutalisks. We saw lots of roaches. So we're getting kind of heavy into the siege tanks, getting an engineering base just in case there's a mutalisk switch soon. Setting Europe to attack. And here I'm thinking, alright, I can do my standard play. I can go for Hellbat, Widowmine, siege tank. And I don't have to be too concerned. A little bit of a push out there, so I close up my wall and plant down my siege tank. Rebuild the supply depot. And just stay kind of close to my wall. I can lower it down since I'll be luring him right on top of the widow mines, which I'm sure he's aware of. We want, with this specific opening, we want 2 reactors, 2 tech labs. So we want a reactor at Widowmine, we want a reactor at Hellbat, and we want 2 siege tanks to produce at a time. So we have 2 of each type building constantly. And then if there's really, really heavy Zerglings, we can just make mass Hellbat. And if there's only ever staying really on pure Roach, we can go for kind of like mass Widowmine siege tank. This gives us a lot of unit diversity. We want to take our third. I'm thinking I have a lot of units. I'm starting another command center. I definitely have enough to either do a push or to control the space between my main, my natural, and my third. But just to make sure, I also throw down a Hellbat drop to kind of keep him distracted, so if he is attacking, I'm able to retaliate if he's not paying attention. Poking out a little bit. I'm sending out the Marine as a scout, just to make sure I can't be surrounded the moment I step out. See the space over here? So I know I have to attack that in a little bit. The Marines are on patrol in case of a Nidus worm. And I do see some forces up there. I do speed back my my medevac to be able to attack him. So I'm doing some okay damage there. The worker count has actually evened up. I've only killed 18 though. And he comes down here. So I move my SCVs to the back to kind of draw him in to attack, but and if he wants to get out, he's gonna have to go out that way. I already have Widowmine Burrow. I got this a little earlier on. Excuse me, I actually have to sneeze. I got the Widowmine Burrow when I started producing out of the 2 reactor 2 tech lab. And then I used 3 supply depots to wall off over here, get my gas geysers pretty soon. I also want to get a sensor tower so I can watch over this area and then attack up here and get this space. And then keep like 1 tank here, so anything trying to kill the supply depots will take a lot of extra damage. A single necessary just in case of a Mutalisk switch, just a small one. Maybe keep out overseers or overlords. And we're getting our building armor because this is a very gas heavy build and we are just barely establishing these, and I want to keep my upgrades going. So instead of +3 attack, we're going for building armor, and I have a lot of minerals because I'm investing a lot into siege tanks, upgrades, and widow mines. So the Hellbats are kind of a good mineral dump, but it's not enough, so that gives us a lot more time for command centers. And this base actually looks like it's gonna go down. And it does. I try to get up behind him, sieging up along the way. I do get some hits off on him, and he's forced to run away. And now that since I've been building these 2 command centers, I can use them, and I'm also doing a Hellbat drop over here, so I'm trying to be kind of active with these Hellbats. I'm really trying to just keep the pressure up, and I'm trying to engage his army, kind of leapfrogging to go ahead and take out this base while I pressure this base with the Hellbats. So move my widow mines up, bury them in the way. You definitely can't attack over here now, and then moving the siege tanks from the back in. Building 2 more factories up here. So my economy, once I take this 4th base, is gonna grow, and I need to be able to produce more units. So the factories will definitely help with that. I know he doesn't have this base, and I've weakened this base a little bit. Now he comes up here to attack. And he makes me take a lot of damage because of the Vipers. You know, they blinding cloud the siege tanks. And I have this medevac on patrol, so I can watch for the gold to make sure he doesn't get a secret lead. I want to always make sure I know which bases are going on. So I'm moving this barracks over here now because I see drones. And he's probably going to throw down the hatchery here. So he's expanding in opposite directions, which is a really clever thing to do. Back home, I've started 2 more command centers because I have a huge mineral bank, and I want to get this gold, if I can, or get this base up here with planetary fortresses. I also have my siege tanks kind of split up, just in case of the Vipers, coming in, trying to blinding cloud. Keep my widow mines close to the ramp. I have a missile turret here. And I'm gonna go for double planetary fortress. And I have a sensor tower here so I can scout him out. And I see he takes both the middle now, because he's got so much money, why not? I mean, that's a really smart thing to do. Getting our gas. Now we're on a decent gas size economy, and that's kind of the most important part for us. Pretty much same thing for him. If we look at the map, you know, he's trying to get the gas geysers here first. He's got the ones here going. He definitely has some gas geyser mistakes. Like, you know, he could be utilizing this one, and these. But I did plant some widow mines here to kind of put up some pressure. And we see this attack down here coming in, so we send our units back. We have three command centers going here. Kind of a mineral dump, and to see if we can drop them down at expos. And we're trying to engage them outside of blinding cloud, so we burrow some widow mines, kind of pull back. We're not sieging just quite yet because we want them to move on top of these widow mines and take extra splash damage. So you never want to move on top of widow mines, and he can't quite pull in here because then he'll be boxed in, and he knows it. And he does pull back some siege tanks, which is clever. And then he takes some widow mine shots here. We scan it, and it's really not that big of an army. It's a strong army, but it's not that big of an army. We do force him to run away here. So he's got almost every single base on the map, which is kind of scary. The worker count is 73 to 75, so we're pretty even on the worker count, but his workers are much more spread out. He's got some units coming up here, but they're getting shelled by tanks. I think that was a bad rally or a move. And we're keeping our tanks a little split up, burrowing the widow mines. Having some unsiege so we can move away. He does grip some siege tanks, which is good, you know, trading energy for units. Sieging some tanks up here. He grips them, kills another. Units lost tab, it's pretty even. He's lost a few more than me. We know he still doesn't have this base, so that's definitely good. Sending out some widow mines from map control, shelling this base up here. Sending a widow mine over here so we can keep this base from mining. Which turned out to be a good idea, because we just killed these 3 workers. I can see that he's over here the whole time, and I have to be really careful. I mean, I don't have a lot of gas, and they keep sniping these very gas-heavy units. So I'm just kind of like producing siege tanks and widow mines for a lot of space control. The siege tanks for Roach hydra, and the widow mines to stop them from just rushing in, and maybe they'll get some viper kills, and it makes it much more difficult to engage. And he pulls these tanks down, which again is a great move. He gets these for free. And when we come over here, we try to siege up a few tanks at a time, burrow the widow mines, move out of the blinding cloud. And just play it super safe. Move a few more back. Siege up there, and then split these up. I have some SCVs repairing as well. Moving the widow mines up once my tanks are into position as well. So this makes it very dangerous for him because he takes a lot of damage from all these split up siege tanks, and hydralisks are kind of like glass cannons. They take a lot of damage. I think 2 shots kills the hydra. Maybe 3 shots with the armor upgrade. We're also sending some reinforcements up here to take out this base. So what we're doing now is we're starting to clean up the creep here, and forcing him to attack this and not do so well on engagement because it costs a lot to attack here. You can see that he's losing a huge part of his army just trying to get to the tanks. We take out this base again, split up, keeping the widow mines back here. And he did break through to that, but if you look at the units lost tab, he's lost a lot more than me. And we use the reinforcements to create a secondary wall, so he loses even more units. And we're just playing really cost effective here. This widow mine has now gotten 6 kills. And we got a barracks over here spotting out this base. Now that we've kind of controlled this, we're going to try to get rid of the creep here. And we're moving these bases up so we can go ahead and establish another set of gases, which is really important for us. This does split the map 50-50, and that's good. That's good. We don't want him to be on more gases than us, because that's devastating, because they will do massive tech switches. And he's just trying to find something to pick off. He's maxed out, but he's got quite a bit of workers. You could definitely sacrifice some mining minerals. I could sacrifice some as well, which is why I'm taking them in my army to repair. And I kind of go down here and surround him from three. You know, I try to make this threshold. I knew where his army was. He pulled back here, so I knew I had tanks here, and then I wanted to try to get down in a bit of a position here, but I clumped up too much on my way down, and I didn't have too many widow mines. So now this blinding cloud does take out a lot, and I decided in the meantime I'm gonna make some hellbats since I'm missing a lot of gas, and I'm gonna send them down here to pressure this base while I establish this base. So I want to draw my way from here while I establish these gases with these planetary fortresses. And then I made some Thors just in case of an ultralisk switch. So I have a lot of gas. So I made some hellbats on top of that, and then I spent some gas on a few extra tanks and ship plating, because I need the tanks to fight the hydralisks. And then the Thors and the Viking and the Raven, they can all help take out the Vipers. And the Raven, well, the Ravens can use like Hunter Seeker missile on his army, and I see him coming up here. So I'm trying to keep a close eye on his army to see where he is, and always make it harden to engage. So if he goes and engages up here against planetary fortresses, he'll have my army to deal with. Planetary fortress down here. And here there's a depot wall and all my reinforcements. And he does decide to attack up here. So he has a much bigger bank than I do, and he has a much higher supply. And he does pull the Ravens in, which is expensive. I do get some Hunter Seeker missiles off though, which do a lot of splash damage, and then the siege tanks. I'm moving my Thors back while my tanks are firing on his army. And then here as well. He comes to take out this tank, but now my planetary fortress is firing upon him. It's already got like 3 kills, so these are hydra kills. And then another tank down here to keep me safe, and then these Thors kind of just backed up. So here he comes to attack here, but I do have 2 planetary fortresses. I don't have building armor yet, which is a mistake. He's trying to wait for a blinding cloud, which he puts in between really well, so neither one of them are attacking right now. But with the mass repair, with the mass repair, I was able to survive. And then I had a building armor, and I sent some army over here to kind of distract him. I want this to survive at least until the building armor, then it's much easier. Kind of finding a low economy for me right now. He's starting to run low on minerals though. He's mining a lot here, he's mining here, and he's mining on the gold, but he actually doesn't have that much higher of a mineral count over me, because his other bases, this one, and this one, are starting to mine out. So he's got these 3 bases compared to my 2 bases, and I have mules. So my thought process right now is I have to establish the middle. So I make this huge push, and I scan, clear out creep tumors. And I need to lay down my widow mines. I unsiege my tanks and move them back. And I take my reinforcements over here. Lay down some more siege tanks. And I have to play kind of careful because his Vipers did a lot of damage to me with a blinding cloud. And he went back and got more energy, so they have a lot of energy right now, which is really, really scary. But I keep producing siege tanks and widow mines. Now that I've established, or I'm about to establish these gas, I don't know why I haven't yet. That's definitely a mistake. I guess I didn't send them back after I took them off. But I should be able to afford more siege tanks and widow mines now, and then throw in a few Vikings to get rid of the Vipers. So they can't just keep going back for more energy. They have to die after they cast their spell. We have a lot of SCVs. They're pointless to mine up here or here, and there's no minerals here, so we might as well use them to repair our army, to make our army even more effective. We have +3 armor and we have +3 attack on the way, and a lot of widow mines. Since we're so low on gas, we're just producing a crap ton of widow mines because we have a lot of tanks. So the widow mines are kind of expendable, and they're much cheaper. We want our tanks to stay alive, and we see that he's up here, so we get into a good position. Put up some missile turrets for the Viper. Kind of split up our tanks here. He's coming up, so we plant our widow mines and pull back a little. And he loses a lot of Vipers, so we pull back over the missile turrets, and then we split up and siege. So the missile turrets were kind of like a buffer, get rid of overseers, get rid of Vipers as well. Make him be a lot more careful. And from here we kind of slow push. A little tank up at a time. He does grip a tank, which is good on his part. And he tries to do the same thing here, but he grips the Vikings instead because they were killing his Vipers. So we got all these widow mines rallied over. As long as our tanks stay alive, you know, that's we can just keep producing widow mines. Because we want a healthy tank count, and we've got like 13 right now, which does a lot of damage. And then the widow mines, they also do a lot of damage, but they're cheap. So this allows us to be more cost effective as long as our positioning is great. If we falter out of position, we just get overwhelmed. We got a lot of hits off there. And we have some Hellbats to also attack onto him and delay him from reaching the widow mines and the tanks. Once again, keeping our tanks split up. And then coming down here, and then just creating, you know, just this whole tank line. Putting our widow mines down again. SCV's repairing them. I do need to move them back a little bit, because only one tank is firing on this army. And our goal is to establish the middle, keep the middle, and we win. Because these minerals are going to deplete soon. These minerals don't have too much left, so the gold is really where the minerals are. And this mineral field is almost depleted, and so is this one. So we don't have too many resources. We really need this middle. We have a lot of minerals, though, but not a lot of gas. So we try to lure him over this army here. And he loses his overseers. I'll accept this one, I guess, though. He has to be really careful attacking into these mines. We still have a healthy number of siege tanks. And with the little amount of gas we have, we're producing siege tank, mine. We should be producing a few more Hellbats. Just because our mineral... I guess I still didn't get these. Wow, that's terrible of me. We still need to produce... We need to produce Hellbats because we really need the gas. I mean the gas, but we don't have any. So we need more units to be able to take out the middle and defend the middle, like a buffer for siege tanks and widow mines, so they take less damage. And then the Hellbats are really good at that. So now we've cleared out the middle. The creep tumors are gone, for the most part. Yeah, the creep tumors are gone. So now we're just waiting for the creep to go away. And it's kind of difficult for him to attack anywhere else but the middle, because I've got 2 planetaries here, 2 planetaries here. And he could go down here, but this is where my reinforcements come out of, and there's a planetary here, a lot of missile turrets here, so there's definitely a lot of fodder. He's trying to pull some tanks. I'm sending my Hellbats in to deal with some damage. The widow mines, we're getting some shots off. Now here he is with his overseers, a little close. And every resource at this stage counts. He's making like 20 hydralisks, which is, it's great that he had a bank, but he's not being very cost effective. He's playing really well, but he can't quite attack into here. And this is kind of I wouldn't say this is the position he brought himself into. It's just I was able to make my way here. While still not mining these gas. What a terrible mistake. But I was making my way towards the middle, and once I have the middle, it's so hard to break it from me. It's so hard to get it, but it's much harder to break it from a Mech-Tarian than, you know, a Zerg. Like, it's really hard getting in the perfect position, but once you're in the perfect position, like, how are you going to break this without Broodlords? And he doesn't have the resources for Broodlords right now. You could get Zerglings, but the Zerglings would be useless, as I have so many Hellbats. So many Hellbats. Even more Hellbats. Zerglings will not do much against this many Hellbats. And now we're establishing these bases. And he does still have a little bit of an income here and here, so that's definitely good. He's got a nice army, a healthy army. But now that we are establishing these bases and getting the extra income, getting the extra gases, you know, we're really starting to kick into gear. I wonder if I ever get these gases back. But now we can really start to begin to produce widow mines again. And we got quite a healthy number of them now to back up this tank army, which is good because we were getting low on widow mines. Really low, we had almost none left. So now the widow mines and siege tanks can control space again. And the Hellbats are there for the buffer, just the buffer, because now we have the middle. We have a healthy economy from the gold, so it's nothing to be worried about. Single missile turret, just to kind of try to deter Vipers, Overseers, Overlords. Repositioning ourselves. And setting a tank up here, because this is where he's really focusing, so I'm putting my army on the side where he's really focusing. He pulls some Hellbats, which is... It's great that he's getting free units, but it's not the Hellbats that I would pull, it's the siege tanks. We still don't have these gases, but we have these in the middle. And that's like acquiring 2 bases, and that's a huge thing for Terran, acquiring 2 bases and resources. So now we have more gas than him as an income. And because of that, we're now able to produce a lot of widow mines and Vikings and, you know, really get some more space control. We're getting Vikings to kill like Overlords in case he drops on top of my army. You know, kill more Overseers so he can't kill the widow mines. And then kill the Vipers. So, it looks like he's ending up here now, which is a good decision on his part, so I have to reposition. And I just try to repair this planetary fortress and send my Hellbats in so they can draw fire. And then burrow my widow mines and pull back. So the Hellbats were to kind of like force him to back up a little bit while my widow mines got into position. I'm sending another one of my command centers over, the one that was here I think, yeah. And I'm going to make that another planetary. So it's even harder to break the middle because then I'll have 3 planetary fortresses, a lot of siege tanks, Hellbats, widow mines. It's just, he's making the proper response now. He's getting swarm hosts, so he should have gotten them a little bit sooner. The swarm hosts are going to make it more difficult for my army because it's really Hellbat heavy, not very tank heavy. I use the widow mine and the siege tank to complement each other. So the more swarm ranks you have, the more siege tanks I need. And then the more, the less widow mines I need and the more Hellbats. So I really need more siege tanks to deal with the swarm host. And over here I'm just kind of trying to get in under him a little bit. And while I'm attacking, he's retreating. But he's taking shots from my Vikings. And he pulls a few units in. And I'm just pushing into here, burrowing some of these mines and scanning right where his swarm hosts are. So I take out a lot of swarm hosts. And I'm kind of rallied over here to attack from the bottom while I'm attacking up top. And then 3 planetary fortress, you know, good luck breaking that. Still didn't get these gas geysers. Terrible mistake. And a lot of resources are depleted right now. So the middle really is the only way to get money, and I have control over it. He has a lot of minerals, but what is he gonna build? Zerglings? Zerglings aren't gonna be any good. Still reinforcing with widow mines over here, and now I'm just trying to take out bases. From here, it's a little bit of a dance, but I'm just able to overwhelm him because you know, I can throw away money. He can't. Just making widow mine, siege tank. Widow mine Viking. Scanning the swarm house here. Sending some of my extra workers over. I actually never end up re-getting these guys, which they could have helped so much. And he's got no income at all right now. These guys are depleted, and then I come in and kill him off. So I definitely hope you guys enjoyed this game, and thanks for watching.